Today we're making German pancakes. This recipe is really easy. It was a family favorite of mine growing up. My mom always made it for holidays because it was such a fun little treat. It's a simple recipe too, and you should have most of the ingredients on hand. The first thing that you're going to want to do is to set the oven to 400 because it takes a while for it to warm up. Then what you're going to do is take a 9x13 pan and spray it with cooking spray. You do melt butter in it, but for some reason the pancakes still stick to the bottom, so it's always best to spray it with a little spray.
Mom, what you making?
I'm making German pancakes, one of your favorites.
Yes!
You want to help me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it then. Okay, one of the reasons that I love German pancakes is because my mom made them for us when I was growing up. She had 7 kids, and so it took a lot of eggs. We had to use probably 2 to 3 batches of German pancakes to feed everybody.
That's quite a lot.
And they use a lot of eggs. And most of my growing up, we had chickens. And my husband and I have chickens now. We have 5 chickens, and they lay a lot of eggs. So we need to use our eggs. We make about 2 batches for our family of 5 for breakfast when we make them. And we make them all the time, not just for holidays, because we love them. So the first thing that we're gonna wanna do
Let's crack the eggs.
is crack the eggs into a bowl. Now we wanna make sure that we crack them into the bowl first before we put them in the blender, because we don't wanna get shells. We wanna make sure it's clean and safe. Okay.
We're down to our last egg.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. You're doing a good job of just standing there.
Supervising, huh? No,
Yeah,
I'll take
good
these away.
job.
Well, it looks like you did a good job. There's no shells or anything in there. So now we're gonna pour this into the blender.
So, which one do we dump next? Well,
Next, I like to add salt. And about 2 shakes per every egg makes perfect amount of salt.
So
and I've put it in here. And we're gonna go ahead and dump that in over the eggs. So go
Hey!
ahead and put that in, Jared.
this is mine.
You made that, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay, can you hand me that?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, we'll just put it over here. Okay,
Now,
now when I was growing up, my mom didn't actually put salt in the German pancakes, but we like to put it in because we think it pulls out the flavors a little bit better. So that's an optional thing, you don't have to use salt. Another thing that my mom didn't use, but I like to use, is vanilla. This is about half a teaspoon of vanilla. You can add more if you'd like. Another thing you can also add is cinnamon, if you like that kind of thing.
I've never tried it with the cinnamon, Mom.
It's really good. Okay, the easiest part about this is that I can remember the recipe because it calls for 6 eggs, a cup of flour, and a cup of milk. And then a half a stick of butter that you'll melt in the pan. Okay, we're gonna put the flour in now. This is 1 cup of flour. Okay. Jared, do you want to do the cup of milk?
Yes.
Okay. Good job. Before you start putting all of your recipe together, you want to set your oven to 400 degrees because it takes a little while for that to heat up. Plus, you're going to be melting your butter into your pan so that when you pour the mixture in, the butter is nice and warm already. And that makes it delicious. We're going to use a half stick of butter. You can use a whole stick if you would like. That's what my mom used, but my husband doesn't like that much butter in his, and that's great because we don't need that extra fat. So what I like to do, so the butter melts nicer. So what I like to do is cut the butter in smaller pieces and place it throughout the pan so that it melts a lot more evenly. I'm just gonna do this one because it gets your fingers pretty buttery. So we're just going to do half a stick, which is about 4 tablespoons. Like that. And then we're gonna set this in the oven and let that butter melt while we're blending our mixture.
Listen.
Now, while the butter is melting in the hot oven, we're going to go ahead and blend our ingredients together and make a nice liquid.
Here, I'll press it down.
So what you do, it's not a press down, you turn the switch to 3 on the Bosch. Go ahead. Sometimes we need to get a spatula to get some of the flour that's sticking to the side. So we're gonna go ahead and, thanks. Okay, so I just like to scrape it down like this.
And just mix it up a little. Blend.
And then we'll mix it again.
So then you don't have big chunks in your...
Yeah. And that way we're getting all the flour. So.
Sometimes you do get some chunks, but that's okay.
Okay. And then we're gonna turn it on again. Go ahead, bud. You just want to mix that up until the consistency is fine and there's not a lot of chunks in there. So we'll just take a look. Yep, that looks good. Kind of looks like eggnog. That's what I think of. But please don't drink this raw. I don't know how good it would taste.
I'm gonna go check if the butter is done melted. Okay?
Yeah, we'll pull that out and then we're gonna put our batter in.
Just gonna take that off.
Why don't you just bring it over here. Okay, and set it right here.
Ooh, you were correct. Look at that prettiness.
It's nice and melted. Okay.
Quite pretty, isn't it?
To give the blender just one more little buzz, just to make sure everything's nice.
Okay.
There. Okay. Now let's pour that in over the top of the melted butter.
Okay.
Yum. Let me.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then just pour that in.
I'm gonna kind of.
Hey, that looks good. You did a nice job. Look at the butter on the edges. And that's what makes it so buttery and nice. The pan is really hot from the melting butter, so you're gonna wanna put your oven mitts back on and then place it back in the oven. And that's going to be cooking for 20 minutes. And it should be all ready by the time 20 minutes is over. If not, set the timer for a couple of minutes and check it again until it's ready. Jared, will you open the oven for me? Okay, here we go. Can't wait for it to be done. It's gonna be yummy. While the German pancakes are cooking, you can get everything ready. What people really like on German pancakes are syrup. There's also powdered sugar, which some people really like to put on theirs. And we've got strawberry jam here. These pancakes are really versatile. You could even make up a berry syrup. They're nice with pretty much anything sweet on top. Or you could even eat them with sausage and bacon. The grapes are delicious. These are the cotton candy flavored grapes, and I really didn't believe that they would taste cotton candy-ish. And you do still taste the green grape flavor, but they really have cotton candy flavor in them. I don't know how they do it, but they did it. And I like it.
Okay. Whoa, wow. Looks awesome.
Yeah, looks really good. Lots of crispy edges.
Look at that. So I'm just gonna make it so you can get in there.
My kids fight over the puffy edges.
I got that one. We do
They call
that.
them. But look at the butter. These are primo.
It's really good, especially with this. I forgot what it's called.
It's still pretty hot. Isn't that crispy? Which piece would you like? This one?
That one.
There you go.
Thank you.
So thanks for joining me in making this favorite family recipe. I have a lot more to share. I love to cook and I would like to share them with you, the recipes. So like and subscribe and hang out with me. I'm kind of fun and kind of cool. Just kidding, I'm not cool. And I'll teach you some recipes that I know, and I would love to have any questions that you might have, and I'll try to answer them for you. And thanks for watching. See you soon. Okay, all you need is